This is Creators1's Business News. I'm El Blanco. I'm the anchor for the business segment, and we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in again. And we do have guests tonight. We got Jose Leon, we got Evie 21, we got Candy Johnson just walking in the door. We have Myth King, and we have Dr. Karma tonight in the studios. So we're gonna go ahead and start tonight's segment, and it's a typical segment that I do when it comes to business. I'm either trying to impart information that's coming from the outside in real life and hope in hopes that we learn to use that inside here and we are learning to bridge those two understandings to be able to do your own business in here. So as you know, Horizon World is a great platform, a social platform for socializing and it creates a lot of opportunities. And some of the opportunities people are finding is that they can get monetized here in Horizon Worlds. Others, from the beginning, they started out working with Meta. You know, they were doing projects with Meta. They tend to even do major events, go down to Florida and represent Meta, and they act as ambassadors as well for these various apps that we're on. So, I'm on quite a few apps now. Not only am I on Horizon, I'm on the Metaverse apps. I'm also using Immersed and Workrooms and things like that. So as we continue to experience, have our experiences, we share our experiences, and we let each other know um, all the different things that are out there because they're all opportunities for us. And as I said last segment, I was trying to get people to understand that everything that you're creating in a digital world uh, it becomes an asset, and it's your asset as you are the creator. And in the near future, when the blockchains are in place, everything that you've created, you can NFT it. That means you turn it into a permanent asset that you have the value to. And so we always keep stressing to our members in the community, our friends and our members to start understanding what we're talking about when we're talking about these blockchain technologies and cryptos and NFTs and things like that. Because here, this is a platform that gives you all the tools for free, and it's not exactly as when I say for free, believe me, y'all, nothing's really ever for free. Even when they are offering stuff for free, they're really tapping into your social security number and they're paying for these things. They're just saying it's for free. But so we want to keep it. We want. I want to make sure, and Creators1News, we want to make sure that all our members are really taking advantage of these opportunities that we have. And it's wonderful to be able to come in here and use primitive shapes and be able to come out with buildings like this, facilities like this. Like in real life, if you were to try to pay for something like this, you'd be spending a lot of money. You probably have to get it financed. You probably have to go through a whole bunch of hoops just to get a team of people to come together to get the type of financing if you wanted to start a business. But a lot of us, we had that aha moment from the jump. We said, wow, we're going to create our organizations in here. We're going to create our business in here. And we're going to let this be our platform, our starting point. So I have over 2,000 members. So when I get ready to start, let's say a Discord or something, I'll be able to start at least with 100 people, right? At least 100 out of 2,000, right? So you have a launching point, and the very people that you meet, the people you network with, the people who are friends of your friends, and that's how the word of mouth get passed along. Like, hey, I didn't know that so and so was doing so and so. Oh, you didn't? Oh, yeah, they're real good at it. Go, okay, I'm interested. Okay, I'll tell them to, I tell them to, catch up with you or whatever. We are a community, and this is one of the main reasons why Meta News has not Meta News, Creators1News. We have the business segment. So today, probably I'm probably gonna say some things that you probably already heard before, but it's not about telling you something you haven't heard or trying to give you something you haven't heard at all. It's just to reiterate some things. So today I was looking at some of the advantages of the emerging technologies, and I can get carried away when I'm watching stuff like this. But I just decided to just take down a few notes again and to remind the members because we have new members that are always coming on, and we direct them to the website at Creators One, Creators1News .com, and it's simple as that. Creators, that's with an S, um, one ONE news.com. So you can see our website, and you can even book us too. We all the different members we have, we do things in real life. Like I'm a consultant, and if there's anything you need from us, and even if it's related to Horizon Worlds, you can actually book us. We're set up to start monetizing on our own as well, and we are developing products, and we will have different products out there that's coming forward as well. So make sure you can check our website out because you get to know more about us and figure out a lot of things that we probably could help you guys with because we're involved with everybody and all the time we're involved with almost everything. So tonight we're talking about the advantages of emerging technologies. Now, a lot of people, I don't know why some of the people I talk to don't know what emerging means, but it's what's coming. It's on the advent. It's on the rise right now. Emerging technology. For a lot of people who are in the technological field, they don't refer to it as emerging technology because they've been knowing about it since the last 10 years, because they've been developing this stuff for 10, 20 years already. But we call it emerging technologies. It's because it's been introduced to
See
the
what
public.
taking out.
you know, um, one thing you've been hearing a lot about, and it's becoming very prevalent,
Tengo amigos,
is
tengo
artificial
amigos que quieren
intelligence.
saber.
AI makes everything smarter, right? Um, it automates everything. So with AI can it's machine learning, and now we have the language models like Chat GPT and all the different forms of that that they're applying. But it automates everything. It can learn. It can adapt. It improves your efficiency. I mean, if you ever try to do anything using AI, it's gonna take you a fraction of the time. It's really gonna take you a fraction of the time. And I'm talking about things as such as like we had a technique for reading books. So I dib and dabble in law, right? And so sometimes you have to, if you're trying to find a solution and answer for someone, you may have to read a whole court
Sí, me
case.
pare.
You know what I'm saying? um, you have to read a whole court case. And if you have to read a whole court case, that could take you about 2 or 3 hours of reading. Well, we had a technique where I just would need to know a couple of things. So I may put in a keyword and hit find, and I hit go to next, and I'll do that whole document until I find what I want in that whole document, even though that document could have been
Yeah.
200 pages, right? That's a technique. But now AI, you can take that whole document, cut and paste that whole
Sí, claro.
document, or put it into a reading AI module, right? It'll summarize everything, or you can give it specifics that you want. It will annotate. So if you don't know that word, look up annotation. Whenever you know the word annotate, that's one of the biggest words you can use if you're trying to research and you're trying to get some things done quick, fast, in a hurry, and not waste time. So things that would normally take me now, if it was something that I was doing that would take me a month, I literally could probably do it in 4 or 5 days now because of AI. Literally. And that's no joke, no exaggeration. So imagine how efficient I become, especially for a person who works for himself. And that I'm be telling you this because you too can do the same thing. You just have to be aware of it. Now, in sharing that information, I just gave that little example because a lot of people, we're not going to school for this stuff, and it's brand new information, and this language is moving real fast. And by the time the average person is aware of something because they've been introduced to it, once they're aware of something, the technology is moving so fast they're on something else. So I'm just going to give you the keywords like annotation, emerging, and things like that. So when it comes to AI, you got to think about it. They improve productivity to the highest extent, and regardless of what industry it is, no matter what industry, education, medical, whatever, it's gonna affect it. And the reason that's so important for people, that people must know this, is because a lot of people don't think their job could be affected, right? But so many jobs are going to be affected by AI because AI improves the stuff astronomically. So why wouldn't a corporation reduce its expenses to get a higher production? They're definitely going to do that because corporations are all about their profits. Period. Okay, so and AI is going to affect everything from healthcare to even self-driving cars. So these cars are coming because there's some other technologies that they're waiting on to finish for all these self-driving cars to be like across the board to where the government say, okay, and now self-driving cars is you can let them go all over the United States. Okay, so but what artificial intelligence does is it enhances decision making because someone's trying to get in behind you. It enhances decision making. AI, it analyzes data on such a large scale, and it can look at the patterns that analysts normally use. Because the analysts who predict the future, when I say predict futures, they can predict pretty much what the outcomes are going to be 20 years down the road, if based on the cycles that's going on now, based on the mindsets of the people, or based on the economy. They can make predictions, and that's what analysts were getting paid to do. Now you have this AI, their predictions up to 99%, prediction and forecasting. um, like with day traders know how to make money because they have what you would call they have charts, and they look at charts that showed they look at a chart that shows you how money moves, or how money is affected in the money markets based on this event. And then they have a chart based on that event. And when they get to the point to where they have so many events that they've observed, they can show you the charts of today, right? That are matching other charts in the past. And they can tell you when you're about to have a recession. They can tell you when you need to sell your house, or when you need to start buying property. These people know things to this degree, and that's why they are super paid and on Wall Street, and they work with these major companies because they understand this type of these type of skill sets and technologies that they apply. And now AI is making it to where you and I can do the same thing. So now it's not such a we're not competing or at such a disadvantage in competing with the majors, because we can't afford to buy an app that has AI. And not only can we afford it, because they typically aren't selling you the products now, they're making you get subscriptions to have access to the database. So it is affordable. Just got to know how to use it. You got to know how to use it to your advantage and what you would use it for. And then they have what you would call augmented reality, which is they augment the human capabilities, right? And I've been playing with that because I have the three now, and inside my room, it'll map my whole room. I can hit the side of it right now, and everything is in color. It's not like the two. I can walk upstairs, everything, and I can have portals, and I can have things set up to where I want them, and I can interact with those portals or not. um, but these tools, they assist us in when we're creating augmented. They can help you do complex calculations, and even dangerous tasks don't have to be done now, because you can have an augmented reality right there, where you can have the image in here instead of actually working with a reactor, trying to figure out how this reactor will work, and the risk of it blowing up the whole place. You don't have those things now, and that's what augmented reality allows for. So then you have another technology, and this is the one I like the most. I talk about all the time. This technology is called the Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things is supposed to be completed by the Cisco company out of Silicon Valley in sometime in 2025. That was the last I think the last report for the schedule that they were on. And I pretty much think they're not gonna miss that. They're not gonna miss that mark, because AI is being used already all over the place, and they're just using that to enhance development and everything else. So I don't think they're going to miss any more deadlines from this point on, when companies say, hey, our deadline is this, because they have artificial intelligence. But the Internet of Things, right, is for hyper connectivity. That means everything out here can communicate, every device can communicate. And what's making that possible is they hit the 5G mark. 5G and beyond is what it's called. That's coming. So right now, 5G. All right. So because we have 5G, um, the Internet of Things would be possible. So what they mean by a hyper connection, they're saying billions of devices gather and share data, creating a web of intelligence that optimizes everything from traffic flow to energy grids. The whole city. They basically telling you a whole city can communicate. Imagine smart homes, connected cities, and seamless communications between machines. So that's like an idea I had in the future. One of my ideas was I was going to invest in a courier service when the drones become connected to the Internet of Things. So you know how we see these and I'm pretty sure you've seen a sci-fi movie when they look so far in the future, and all these spaceships and everything is flying right between each other, but the whole airspace is things just flying and nothing's crashing. That's what the Internet of Things is going to be able to accomplish. Because if you really watch movies like that and pay attention to all those movies, they were basically telling you the technologies that they were working on anyway. They just had it in the movies. And the people in Hollywood, the people in Hollywood, they're all connected people. They connected from for various reasons, not just people who can write, because the people who are writing from some type of perspective that they have, whether someone is giving it to them or whether they're coming up with it like science fiction out the head, whatever the case may be. But there are going to be all kind of cars driving in major cities, and when the Internet of Things is hooked up, it will be making sure that there's no crashes and not everything is going to know where everything is around it because it's communicating in milliseconds with everything, and the Internet of Things makes that possible. And then with the Internet of Things, you have what they call real-time insights, because of all these sensors, right? All these sensors that they're putting into everything, they will constantly monitor and report. And that's what they're doing like right now in your house. They've retrofitted everybody's houses with smart meters. And people don't know. They think that the smart meters is just sitting there monitoring how much electricity you use. No, it's communicating with every device in your house because they're collecting data. They want to learn all your patterns and how you use energy, how you misuse energy. They want to know what type of devices you're using. The things that we don't like. We don't like our privacy being taken. They have a reason for it. We don't trust them because sometimes their reasons is for their own control and gain over people. But they know how many times you open your refrigerator. They know how many times you flip your light switches on in your house, how you use your house, where you're at in your house, because they can see the frequencies. Just like it's no different than if someone has they're monitoring how you use your keyboard. They can see what you're talking about just by monitoring your keys or the sequence of your keys. They can see what you're talking about, or they can see what you're searching. So it's the same thing in a sense, but it's Internet of Things, and it allows everything to communicate. And what it's going to do, it's going to revolutionize everything from agriculture to healthcare, um, optimize the way we use energy. It's going to improve safety, of course, and it's going to deliver more personalized services. So all you have to do to see how deep in the game that is just think about it. When you're on anything Facebook, anything that's tied to Facebook, whenever you say it, I don't care if you're on your phone, if you got all if your accounts are tied to here and they're tied to that, that's tied to that. What's going to happen is you may say something to someone on the phone, and then the advertisement hit your phone 3 minutes later. If you ever noticed that. So Internet of Things, they like Internet of Things is just okay. You know how people have Alexa, and all that type of stuff, right? When the Internet of Things hit the tape, when we get that right, that thing is gonna know when you usually will turn on your coffee. It's gonna be having your coffee. If you got a smart coffee machine, it's gonna have your coffee waiting on you. It's gonna already have your shower. Turn your shower on and make sure the water temperature is where you like it. I mean, it's really gonna be like this, y'all. I'm serious. It's no exaggeration, and that's how deep it gets when the Internet of Things comes into play because everything is communicating. So you won't have to tell it because it's gonna learn your behaviors and learn what you need and how your pattern. It's gonna actually makes life easier. So um, let's see. The next thing is 5G and beyond. I was talking about that earlier. That's the ultra fast connectivity. So 5G unlocks speed 10 times faster than 4G did, right? Enabling instant downloads. You got lag free streaming, near real time communication is almost real time. And it's all this is going over the air, y'all. That's what 5G allows for. And we're going to get to the point when it goes beyond 5G because right now we're in a virtual reality right now. We're actually in here where everybody can pull a camera out. You can be looking at your menu. I can be talking to you guys. I can have a bot playing. And although we're over here doing this, there's 100 thousands of people doing the same thing, maybe in different worlds, and it's maybe 500,000 in VR chat with a lot more going on, all operate at the same time. That's because we have this ultra connectivity and this ultra speed that we're getting through 5G and higher. Okay. And then also, they're gonna use that, right? And that's gonna connect. Well, that's because of 5G. It's gonna open the door for the AI, the Internet of Things in VR, and it has already. We've been using it. And then one of the most important things I think, is the blockchain. All right, the blockchain. They got decentralized blockchain, right? A lot of people don't know the difference between centralized and decentralized, right? And so I'm always trying to get people to take an interest in it, um, because we all don't have the same experiences, but I've known people to, have their bank accounts blocked from them. Um, um, I've always have issues sometimes when I try to do certain types of banking, and they say, "Oh, it's not that's restricted. You can't do that. You have to have at least $3 million to participate in this," and things like that, right? So when it comes to the blockchain, it's more than just how you want to have more freedom dealing with your money. It's just the fact that how it's structured. You don't have anyone controlling the transaction, and the transactions hits blocks, right? And these blocks are open ledger, and you really can write in the terms, what they call smart contracts. So now you don't have to worry about someone not performing and not doing what they're supposed to do, and then you having to try to go sue them and get your money back or any of that. Um, in the future, because of the blockchain, you will be able to do smart contracts, and everything happens according to the contract being fulfilled, and you don't need attorneys. So you don't have to like I come in, I want to do a business with, I want to do a business with Ice Spice Bay here, right? And um, Ice Spice Bay, she had all good intentions. It just something could have happened on her side, right? Where something happened personal, and now she can't feel her end of the contract, right? But still, I put in a lot of investments, and I got people who are co-investors on my side that I have to take care of, right? Now, to get that money, right? What you have to do, you have to get an attorney, you have to go to court. Sometimes that takes up to $100,000 or more just to settle. And by the time you win the case, you probably spent more than what you were owed just trying to recover. So when the blockchain and the smart technology comes, we won't have those issues. Those will not even be issues anymore. And that's going to be the beauty of having a decentralized um, blockchains. They say that blockchain creates a secure, transparent ledger, eliminating the need for intermediaries and building trust in these transactions. And you will have secure financial systems, tamper proof voting, and transparency supply chains. So, all the things that they were distracting us with the presidential election and stealing the votes and all those type things, we won't have those things in the future. It won't even be an issue. Um, and it gives individuals control over their data and their assets, enabling secured ownership, peer-to-peer transactions, and new economic models. So here's the thing about that, right? So um, back in the day, you want to do, let's say you want to do something with a country in Africa, right? Let's say someone in Africa decided they want to do business with you because you're in America. Their niece or someone went to college with you over here. They told their parents all about you. So their parents are royalty or something. They say they want to put like $200 million worth of gold, right, into an account to create a letter of credit to provide over here, and you want to do business, right? So typically, because the way the government works, they won't have everything you do. You know what I'm saying? And they won't even allow this contract. They won't allow this business venture. They won't allow you to do anything overseas or whatever without you going through them and customs and all that. Well, in the future, if you're on a blockchain, that's peer to peer. You don't have to go through their banking system. You don't need letters of credit. You don't need authorizations. You can do business with them right then and right there. The transactions take place, and you know the services take place. The products are sent, whatever the case
Oh,
may be, and it's a done deal. It's a done deal. So therefore,
okay.
because of the blockchain, it's going to provide us with those things. Now, guess what? The people who don't know anything about this,
Oh,
right, and they're not willing to learn about things like the blockchain, right? Now, if they're not willing to learn or be aware of these things, they're gonna be on a blockchain still and won't even know it, right? They'll probably get issued some type of debit card or some kind of card for financial transactions that's tied to a wallet that they don't even know anything about. But it'll actually be going through the blockchain because everything is going there. Okay. And so then you have all these extended realities, right? So when you use the term extended reality, you're really talking about XR, VR, AR, MR, all these different types, right? And it's what helps us do what we're doing right now. It helps us engage other people from around the world. We can be at home. We don't have to leave the house. Um, and you know companies need it because companies no longer have to fly their whole staff over here. Like a major company may need to have a meeting with a company in the United States from Europe. You don't have to spend that kind of money, have those type of expenses. Um, just anything, it helps you with anything that you're trying to do, and even in medicine, um, and for surgeries, everything. It's just we're in the right place at the right time to have this technology. Now, once again, we're using it right now, enjoying ourselves. But the military has been developing these things for the longest because they was training pilots and people who drive submarines and all those different types of dangerous trainings. But they was doing it through VR. They've been doing this for the longest, and now we're using it for the game's sake, and we're using it now. But all these different applications that we need to know because once we um, once we get in a position um, to use these things for ourselves. We won't have to be looking for jobs, y'all. We can just create our own businesses and do it for ourselves, and we'll be able to actually touch down with millions of people. Because in here, we will have access to millions of people. Right now, where I'm from, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. I don't even communicate. Where I'm from, I don't even communicate probably no more than 100 people at the most, and that's at the most. In here, maybe 1,000, because I'm always seeing people somewhere. Everybody got events. Everybody have things happening. Um, but anyway, and the last one is going to be, the last two is going to be edge computing because I'm going a little too long. Edge computing, real time processing and response. All right. And edge computing is almost like saying, you know, computing would be so fast and so efficient. um, Everything is happening right then and at that time. We don't have to wait on it. It's no delays on the information. It's no latency. You know what I'm saying? And um, it's like it's almost like everything is happening locally. So I think the best way that I can put it, let's say, like if you're using a computer, um, and it's a lot of information, you would normally have to have a cache. Some people have a high processor, then they have a big size cache. Some people have eight gigabytes. Some people have 16. Some people have 32, and even 64. So imagine everything is like a 64. It's getting processed right there, right then. It doesn't have to be sent back out to the cache and come back because it's trying to process. It's almost like you're using Chat GPT. When you ask the question, it gets all that information, analyze it, and give you the answer just that quick. So, and then the last but not least is 3D computing. 3D printing. I'm sorry, 3D printing. Those devices are available now. And depending on what you're trying to do, you can start a real big business right now just by you having access to a 3D printer because you wouldn't have to have, like, if you, like, say for instance, I'm gonna give a good example. I want to give a real good example for that because I used to have a ex-girlfriend. She used to make all kind of body beads, right? All those different stylish, very sensual looking body beads, right? But she used to do them all by hand. And and if people wanted some very expensive ones where they want the exact stones and things like that, she would have to go to a machine shop and make the molds and drill them and make the gold molds and all that, right? But guess what? You have 3D printing now. 3D printing, you don't need to do all of that. You just need the ability to put the diagram, the digital diagram for the 3D dimensions and all that, and you sit there and you print. So imagine being able to make things on demand, custom things, and you don't have to have that all those expenses and so forth. So pretty much that's what it is. So I would like to thank you for coming in tonight and everyone sitting in with us here at Creators One Business News tonight. And look for us on the internet. Our website is Creators1News dot business. I mean, sorry, .com. Creators1News.com. And you can also book us. So you can go look through the website and find out where you can book us at. So if you have any questions for me or you need any services or any help doing anything, you can find me there too. Okay. Thanks for tuning in and good night. Mhm.